I never thought I'd be saying this, but today I'm going to be testing out a pair of full carbon racing shoes at my local parkrun. Not entirely sure how I managed to end up with these in my collection, considering I like shoes that are more barefoot, zero drop, with more natural feel. But these were on sale, incredible price, and I just thought, why not? I've got to give carbon shoes a shot. So I'm really curious to test these out. I'm going to be pushing myself hard. I ran my sub 20 a few months ago now, and since then haven't really done a fast 5K or an all-out 5K. So I'm curious, will I be able to get a sub 20 in these? Realistically, I'm aiming for a sub 21, but who knows? I really have no idea what to expect with these shoes. I haven't even run in them yet, so this is going to be my first run. Gonna get there early, do a little warm up, and then just blast it for the 5K and see what happens. These are the Hoka Rocket X2s. They're full carbon, plated with 6mm drop, and yeah, they felt pretty fast when I ran on the treadmill in the running shop. But again, I've got no experience in carbon shoes, so I have no idea how much difference they'll actually make. I'm excited. Let's go head to the parkrun. Shoes are feeling pretty good so far, but it's my legs that are tired. I've been doing my high rocks training and my legs are feeling pretty tired, so just gonna push as hard as I can, see what happens. But the shoes are willing me forward, which is very different feeling. And yeah, they're just wanting me to go faster, so I had to actively try and slow down, but feeling good. I'm excited to push to the limit, see what happens. That was probably the easiest sub 21 I've got, but oh, my legs tired, but my feet just kept turning. Might have to wear carbon more often. So finished the park run, and I think I smashed my sub 21 goal. My legs are super sore. I did 2 leg workouts in a row, Thursday, Friday. Even though my legs were really tired, the carbons just kept me going. So I'm curious to see what happens if I do a proper prep for a 5K and then give it a proper taper as well, and then just send it on a 5K. I don't know. Sub 20 could be much closer than I thought it was. Back to sub 20, let's go. Back home now after the park run, and I have to say I'm very pleasantly surprised by how these shoes felt. Like I said, even though my legs were tired, they just kept me going, and I was able to do what felt like a pretty easy 5K at a pace that is pretty fast for me. The final time was 20:30 in the parkrun time, 2023 on Strava. But yeah, I mean, when I say it felt easy, I looked at my heart rate and it was much, much higher than I thought it would be. You know, it was 202 at its max, which I don't even know if that's right. Seems very high, especially for me. I have sort of reached that before, but even so, it didn't feel like I was ever pushing that hard. Also, what was surprising was how it didn't feel like I thought it would felt. I thought that I would feel that plate and it'd be really stiff, but really it does work with you to help you get over the line and just keep moving. So overall, really happy with how the shoe felt in that regard. Something that I did notice as well was a couple negative things, at least compared to some of my other shoes. I felt like when I was in a corner or any uneven ground that I felt like my ankles were really at risk of, rolling potentially. I don't feel like there was a lot of ankle support, which, I mean, there really isn't on a lot of these super shoes. They're really lightweight, and so you lose a lot of that comfort and support. So have to be careful in the corners. And I also noticed there was a very small section on grass, and I had to slow down quite a lot just because there's almost no grip on these. So got to be careful in wet weather. These shoes will not be good for that. And trail running, I definitely wouldn't do in these either. I mean, obviously they're a road shoe, but still, I do like a shoe that can do more than just road. So either way, really happy with this pair of shoes. And I can't believe I got 2030. I mean, damn. I'm excited to see what I can do with a proper rest, or at least just feeling a little bit better on the day. Maybe even on a course that is completely flat, because Millhouse's parkrun does have some ups and downs. But yeah, overall, really surprised by how good they felt, especially first run in them. No blisters, no problems. So yeah, I'm excited to see how these hold up over the next few months. I'll definitely be planning in a road 5K, maybe even a 10K. I know recently I tried to get a 10K PB and failed pretty miserably. So I don't know, I think these shoes could be the ones that get me to a pretty big PB in the 10K. So I'm pretty excited by that. But yeah, I don't know, let me know what you think of carbon shoes, if you've ever tried any. I'd be really curious to hear what your experience has been with carbon, whether you felt the same way when you first tried them, and also how you feel with them now. It's only my first run in these shoes, so I don't know, does it get easier? Do your ankles feel better in corners? Yeah, always curious to hear as well how they last, because I've heard pretty bad things about carbon plates, that you can only do like 150 miles or a couple 100 kilometers. But really curious to hear if you guys have any experience with that, how long they last. Thanks again for watching. Be prepared for some fast PBs coming soon, some fast 5Ks, fast 10Ks. Right now, I'm dialing in my prep for High Rocks. So next week, gonna be taking you through a week of my training for that, diving into a little bit of my goals for this first High Rocks as well. So stay tuned for that, and thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.